If you don't know what I said.
I get that
Do, 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 do. What?
The other interview was very classy.
Hey everybody, my name is Andre Holland and I play Roger and I'm also a producer on the movie.
I'm Nicole Bahari. I play Casey, actor.
I'm Tawanda Wise and I play Nicole. Hi, my name is Cassandra Freeman and I play an actress. What's her name? What?
Lorna.
Lorna. And I play, hi, my name is Cassandra Freeman and I play Lorna.
I'm Roy Wood Jr. and I play the character of Alan in the film.
I'm Rachel Abigail Holder, and I'm the director of Let Brooklyn.
So Rachel, when you first started this film, you're getting ready to make it a reality. What was the big idea in your head? What was your North Star in putting this together when you
Thank you so much for asking about my North Star. Yes. It took 6 years to make this movie, and I think holding on to the North Star was what kept me and our producers going. I created decks for this movie, costumes, locations, character biographies, and my North Star was keeping it black, keeping the light as a character in the movie, and not changing the essence of the script and why I wanted to make it in the first place.
Well, as you said, it was a journey. Andre, I know Steven Soderbergh was involved in finally getting this off the ground, but I was wondering if you could speak to kind of the resistance you guys were finding as in trying to get. I've seen the film; it's super commercial and lovely and wonderful. What resistance were you running into, and what did Steven ultimately do to get it made?
Well, Steven and I started a relationship many, many years ago. We worked on The Nick together, and he was and is, such an incredible collaborator. He's so generous with his time, with his advice. We had this script and we were out to all the places that everyone goes to get financing, and we knocked on all the doors and did all the pitches, and people just, I think, didn't share the vision. They didn't quite see the value, but that's often the case, and thankfully, Rachel did, we all did, and we stuck with it. And I sat down with Steven one day, and we had just made this movie High Flying Bird together, a couple years before. And he said, "What are you up to?" And I told him the story of this, and he said, "Let me read it." I sent it to him, and we met a couple more times, and then he said, "I like it." He said, "Why don't you start tomorrow?" And so, he put a chunk of financing in, and then through my company, I put some in, and then we got going. So, and then the fun part started, which was like being able to call up friends from like back in the day and be like, "Yo, y'all want to make this movie?" And everybody said yes, and these are some of the people I admire the most in the world as artists. And the fact that y'all showed up, man, I'm being serious.
I'm sorry, she was doing it.
The fact that they showed up, man, it really means the world to me. So yeah, I think it's a testament to making stuff with community and with friends.
There's such a warmth to the film and such an ease of humanity throughout. I know in some cases the set may be super fun and the finished product kind of is lackluster. That is not the case here. Seems like you guys had a ton of fun, but also each character is so human and dimensional and is laughing and crying. I was wondering how you guys did that on set. What was the magic trick to pulling this off? Because there's no seams in this thing. These feel like real full characters that I've known for ages and wanted to continue watching.
I think there's just a ton of the idea of safety can never be undervalued on sets. Having a kind of foundation that there is no failure. I feel like there were moments where Rachel would just like give these nudges of direction, and there wasn't the idea that she was gonna let us like fall on our faces. It just gave a little more like permission. So there was a lot of permission. And then, as Dre said, we've all known each other in some way, shape, or form for many years. We all kind of came up, in New York together in many ways. Mm-hmm. And so it was just a real kind of really fast sense of like, we didn't have to build chemistry, there was no building, it just was already there.
How about you, Rachel, in terms of maintaining that on set from scene to scene and getting that humanity through in each scene?
Yeah, I think in terms of camera, we were really restrained with not doing too many camera solos and letting us sit in the spaces like flies on the wall, so that you felt, like you said earlier, like you didn't want to leave these people, like you were spending time with them instead of watching a movie about them. That was the intention.
Rachel also gave us, thank you. She also gave us a lot of permission while we were working. I know for me, there were some choices I wanted to make, thank you, that I may have been scared in sort of other spaces to sort of make, or been denied in a way, because they're like, that's too neurotic, we're not used to seeing that particular Black woman. And she actually wanted to see that person and extract that in a way. And I think that probably goes for all of us in some capacity. Like, I haven't really seen sensual Dre, in a film.
I remember moments where they were like, we're shooting these intimate moments or whatever, and he's like, I've never done an intimacy scene, and I was like, and you still haven't. This from my vantage is not from my experience, So it's just so much fun.
But there was a lot of permission and, like you said, safety. Yeah, so hands off for that.
Roy, how about you? Some improv in there? You have a lot of permission to kind of go off?
A little bit, but I think what was cool was that I was given the permission by Rachel and Andre to not be what I traditionally am performatively, which is a lot bigger and more demonstrative in terms of how I deliver humor. So it gave an opportunity to deliver more grounded moments, because when you're with your boys, even as a comedian, it's not big. It's just, hey man, it's been. Mm-hmm. And those types of moments, I think, jump out more on camera than something that is actually big. Because I think underneath all of it, my character is also dealing with his own life decisions, with a different set of stakes than what Andre's character is dealing with. And I think to a degree, in the film, I'm there kind of as a bit of a comedic foil, but I'm really using humor to deflect my own situation. I want to talk about you because I don't want to talk about me.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say about Roy, because casting a comedian, you're like, oh, this person's going to be big perhaps because that's what he's used to playing. But we had a conversation where I was like, you're used to being the trumpet, but you can be the bass. Ooh. And he killed that. And it was so wonderful to see him be that brilliant actor, because yes, he's a hilarious comedian and he's so funny just in general, but he's also able to be, a quiet presence and to ground a real character on screen as well. And so it was a real delight to see that.
What were some of your major influences? Because again, this doesn't feel like a feature debut. This is very fully fleshed and visually, sonically, orally, everything. What were you?
That's so nice.
But it also feels like the kind of film that's not
First time feature.
First time feature. Yes. Sorry. Yes, you've been directed.
Yes.
Yeah.
The logo.
What was your question?
What were your touch points? What were your inspirations in putting this film together? What other films were you looking at?
Other films were I looking at? I don't think it was about films. I think it was about like life and energy. When I look at light, just in life, like light hitting a tree, my body fills with serotonin, and I wanted to create that feeling throughout the movie so that we could experience that when watching it. That was a part of my North Star too.
Number of emotional scenes.
I don't know if everyone can appreciate that nebulous answer, but I do. I love that. I'm with you on that.
Thank
Like,
you,
we were in green spaces. I think some of the environment of like being in Brooklyn, like Brooklyn was a character. And so when she's talking about the trees, I haven't gotten to, I'm always working in studios or it was really nice being outside in these spaces and these cafes that I love. Mm-hmm. And like you said, places that like fill you with endorphins and serotonin with people that you love. So I think that some of what you're feeling is actually the fact that like that was organic. It was actually happening. And we were in the spaces where these characters are trying to figure their way through this like changing landscape.
Mm. Could you guys feel that on set?
Big time. The changes?
Yeah.
Or yeah. Oh yeah.
The vibe of the film. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And what I really enjoyed was, so I thought was so interesting is that everyone else has like a love story happening. And I feel like thinking about it now, like my character, she already got love, she already got a house, she already got pain, she already got everything. And then the story becomes about like, so when you have everything, then what do you talk about? Mm. And it might not be as interesting as the people who are still searching,
Sonically, there's so much music in the film. Was there music on set? How did you kind of set the tone? But even, front and center songs playing, songs in the background, that just really puts you in the headspace of this world.
Can I just talk about Joel West for a second, our composer? We had several conversations about music. I really wanted, and I heard string music when reading the script, when creating the decks for this script. And we talked to Joel and we were like, we want it to be classical, we want strings, we want cello, we want piano, but we also want there to be soul. And that's a complicated juxtaposition. And he was able to do that. And it was just, I just remember hearing that music for the first time. We were at the end of creating this film and I cried. And my husband was like, what's wrong? Like, so many things have gone wrong with this movie. So he was like, what happened? What happened? I was like, no. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. And he sent me a clip from the studio and this brilliant, I wish I knew her name, this brilliant Black woman was playing the piano. And that was just really, really special.
You shared that like one of the clips of the music with me, and there's
Yes.
just something about sound that goes, straight from the ears to the heart. Yeah, absolutely.
Also,
yeah.
I was just gonna say quickly. Also, by the music, there's also I feel like a wonderful melange of sounds, right, in the tapestry of the score, which is like, which is Brooklyn. The movie, as you'll see, as people will see, we feature a lot of artists who are like working in Brooklyn now, like Addie Oasis, who is an old friend of ours from back in the day. Yaya Bay is in there. Leon Thomas. We have, we found some like young artists who people don't necessarily know about, like Jordan O'Ryan, who is sensational, and I think is going to be a huge, huge star. So we're able to make space for her to, platform her music as well. And, as Black folks, music, I think we have such a particular relationship to music. There's like, there's we can do a whole think piece about that alone, but I'm really proud of the way that the movie sounds, because I think it does feel like it is both, in and of the place that the movie is about, but it also there's space for other kinds of sounds like you're talking about, Rachel. So I think people are gonna dig the music.
I'm obsessed with the Nick. I have to ask, season 3, is it gonna happen?
Man, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. When it's gonna happen, I'm not sure. But it's been it's funny. It's like working on this movie took us 6 years to get together, and a part of what I hope to do as a producer is to create a scaffolding, within my company that can help shorten the distance between inspiration and execution. Because the fact that it took us this long to make it is, a triumph, and I think it deserves to be celebrated, but also it shouldn't take that long, The Nick is another example, man. We've been working on that for a number of years now, and I think we're close. We're closer than we've been. We're not gonna give up hope, but it sure would be nice to have it already back on the air. So keep the faith, man.
I will. It's one of the best shows ever made. Thank you guys so much, and seriously, congrats on the film.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.